So I'm gonna start it off and ask, where did the love of tennis begin?
I mean, I started when I was about 4. My sister played, um, and I don't know. I think it was a bit of a bonding kind of experience for my sister and I and my dad. And then over time, I really just I loved being on the court, and I loved just the difference that like every day was different, every practice was different, and I think after a while, I loved competing, and then I switched hands, and then that got really hard. But I think the love of tennis was just like being in the match and like figuring things out. Even when I was younger, like that was I really always looked forward to it, and just like the emotions behind it.
So, what made you want to play college tennis? I know everyone's like, you get the full scholarship and you get school paid for. So, that's the main reason why people want to play college tennis. That was my main reason. My mom was like,
Yeah.
"You're going to pay for it for free, so you're going to do it."
You gotta go.
Basically.
Um, I would say, I mean, everyone around me at the time was saying that it was an experience that you couldn't really explain, and that a lot of people in the world will never understand, like being a student athlete, being on a college team, a D1 college team, and I think it really just came down to, I wanted to keep playing. And at the time, the tour was getting kind of tough to manage. And I just wanted to, I wanted to change. And I wanted to be in a situation that was like consistent. And college was like the perfect, start for that. And of course I had to transfer, but yeah, I think it was exciting because it was a new, like I didn't know anything about college tennis before. Even like by the time I committed, I was like, I didn't know what the conferences were and like all that kind of stuff. But I think it was just, the people around me were saying, this is a good option if you can find somewhere you really want to be. Like this is, it's an experience you'll want to have.
So I have to ask, what does being a Black female college tennis player mean to you? Because there's not many of us on the college side, and it's rare to have, teammates, Black teammates. I think when I played, when I got to Baylor, I had 2. And then at not Tennessee, when I transferred to Tennessee, there was 0. One of my best friends played for UCLA, and back in the day, they had a bunch. So that was pretty cool to see that. So what does it mean for you to be a Black female college tennis player?
I think, like you said, there's not a lot of us. So I feel like the best thing, like for me, like my mentality at least, is just to be, to represent in the best way possible. I think it's difficult at times, at a lot of times. It can be hard, and it's an adjustment, but I think for me, it's just about being myself and embracing my Blackness and just being who I truly am, and letting other people see that and choose to love me for who I am or choose to not. But just being true to myself as an athlete, as a person, as a student, and all of the different things that make me who I am, as opposed to just being a tennis player. Or I think it's also that sometimes we can be labeled or kind of put into a box, or people assume you don't have any other interests, and it's like, no, like I love school, and I love tennis, and I love working with the community, and I love creative stuff, and there's a lot of different things. So I just feel like a lot of times we can be misunderstood. So for me, it's just about like staying true to who I am, and really just being representative of that whenever I can.
Last 2 questions. The first one is, what is the best part of playing college tennis?
I would say when you get to those big matches and you're playing those tight, tough matches, and you can see everybody's grinding from court 1 to court 6, like I think that is the most fun aspect of being on a college team, because that that's not something you're going to see in pro tennis. That's not something you see, you know, before you get to college. Like that is completely different from anything I've ever known. But it's amazing. That is, I mean, it's just the noise and the fight and just how difficult it is. But, you know, you do it together and, you know, everybody has their part, everybody plays their role. It's just, that to me is like the kind of the pinnacle of being a college player, especially, you know, at the top of the, you know, some, you know, you're in the top 10, top 5, like those are some big matches you get to play. So
if you could talk to Jaeda Daniel as a freshman, what advice would you give her coming in to play college tennis or just going to college in general?
I would say trust yourself. Like, I mean, as a freshman, I just was so, I still feel like I was, that's a tough question. I would say trust yourself more than anything. Your gut is always right. And just be open, do different things. You know, it's not just tennis, it's not just school. You can embrace the other sides of you that, you know, maybe others choose not to. I would say just, dang, that's a tough question because there's a lot of things I'm still learning, still working on. I'm like, she needed to know that, but I still do. Yeah, I would just say be strong. Be strong in what you know and what you believe in, because at the end of the day, that's really all you have. Like, yeah, you gotta trust in yourself. You gotta, you know, believe in yourself and know that who you are is good enough for whatever you're trying to do. So